Now, the question to close off this podcast is, how do you prevent metabolic adaptation? How do you prevent undereating? How do you prevent low energy availability? All of these things that I have been talking about. The first thing that I'm going to say is get in, get out. That's how we prevent undereating from happening if our goal is fat loss. And we only want to have a fat loss phase, not the beginning of an undereating progression in your life or regression, if we want to be a bit honest, because it's not going to be the best for you long term. But also, this can stop you from it kind of rolling over into an eating disorder. Potentially, we need to get in and get out. And I'm referring to the calorie deficit here. And I say this with clients a lot. We're either cutting, we're in a calorie deficit, and we're getting lean, or we're not. All right? And the more serious we do this fat loss phase, the better it's going to be, because it's going to be more effective. But also, you're going to be in a calorie deficit less. You're going to be under-eating for a shorter amount of time. That's what we want, right? You want to get back to maintenance calories, or even better, being in a calorie surplus and stuffing your face with food. That's amazing. We need to get in and get out. A calorie deficit should not be a lifestyle. This is what, frankly, pisses me off about the fitness industry. There's a lot of personal trainers that almost idolize the calorie deficit and having low calorie foods all the time and doing all these swaps. And I understand that most of the population is overweight and needs help with fat loss. So I do empathize with that. And I do understand that there are changes that we need to make as a whole, as a general population. We are mostly overweight and we need to make changes. But I think sometimes it doesn't help that all the personal trainers are just kind of glorifying these low calorie foods, and we should all be like striving to lose weight and kind of live in this calorie deficit. That's not what we need to do. And I definitely don't subscribe to this idea. And that's why I post myself eating 3 burgers, chicken nuggets, and chips. Not because it's a cheat meal, bruh, but because that's what I like to eat. And that's what I eat on a daily basis. And I'm not trying to rub it in that I can have a 6-pack and be muscular but still eat burgers. That's not the point. I'm trying to say, hey man, I eat like a regular dude, but I train hard. I implement certain principles that help me win the day. Trying to get enough sleep, trying to get enough steps, applying progressive overload in the gym, following a personalized workout program, or just a workout program in general. Training with good form, making sure I'm hitting a high protein diet, making sure I'm hitting my calories every day. These are things that I've put in place to achieve what I am and do what I do. But we don't need to live in a calorie deficit. I haven't been in a calorie deficit for a long time. I think the last time I was in Christmas, and that was unintentional. I got gastro. I got sick, and I lost around 4 to 5 kilos, and I looked really lean for Christmas, which was great, I guess, but, for the beach pics. But, other than that, I've been at maintenance, and you know what? I feel amazing. I've been, at the moment, doing well in jiu-jitsu. If I was dieting, I'd find that very hard to push when I'm getting strangled out by other dudes. My training's great. I've been very strong lately. Leading up to today, and where I'm doing a strength program, I'm pushing some impressive numbers for me, and I couldn't do that in a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is just where you lose body fat, and I just want you to look at that as that. It's not a lifestyle. It's not where we hang out. It's not where I was on 1,200 calories. I'm just gonna stay here. No. You don't stay there. You get to the body fat that you want to, and then you maintain your weight or you increase your weight, because body composition is cyclical. We go through stages. We lose body fat, and then we either maintain or we increase muscle mass, which generally comes with a bit of body fat. We don't just hang out and lose body fat and just keep going. I need to lose more body fat and just do that. I need to lose more body fat and just do that. I need to lose more body fat and just do that. That's how you end up on 1,200 calories for 3 years with low energy availability, and your life's falling to shit. I'm sorry. That sounds really full on. But a lot of people end up there, and I don't want you there. How else do you prevent undereating? Set yourself some performance-based goals. Often when we start training, we have aesthetic-based goals, how we look. We want to look a certain way. We want to have a certain amount of abs. We want to see a certain number of striations in our shoulders or our glutes when we tense in the mirror. But as we get more advanced, and even when people start off with me, they get access to a video that I've made called Performance-Based Goals. And it encourages them to set some performance-based goals. Now, what are they? They're goals where we are looking at performing. How much can you bench press? How much can you squat? How long can you plank for? How many push-ups can you do? How high can you box jump? Think of ways that you can set goals that rely on performance. How you apply yourself as opposed to just what you look like. Because if we set performance-based goals, it shifts our mind to, do I have abs? What do I look like? To, what can I do? Am I getting stronger? Is my technique good? And when we think of performance-based goals, it just puts us in the right frame of mind to become an athlete. I'm not saying that bodybuilders aren't athletes, because they are. But bodybuilding is ultimately a sport where you build as much muscle as possible, then you drop as much fat as possible, then you stand on stage with fake tan in a G-string and get judged on how you look. That can have very detrimental mental health impacts for some people. What I would recommend for most people that probably would never compete is just focus. Yes, we're always going to have this thing in the back of our mind of what do we look like? I get that. All right, I'm not immune to that. I still care about what I look like. When I see my body fat getting too high, I go, look, Brock, let's chill out on those 3 burgers tonight. Let's have 2. But we need to focus on those performance-based goals because they really help us shift our perspective away from just what we look like. And when we get obsessed with what we look like, often that lends us to trying to get lean and then getting stuck in cyclical undereating. How do you prevent it? You could also get a coach. I'm not trying to push my services here, although I am an online personal trainer that gives consistent advice to my clients when they may fall into the trap of consistent undereating and may not want to bump up their calories. I have to have the hard conversation with, hey, you came to me on 1,200 calories, not losing weight. Here's the solution. It's more calories. I know that's going to be hard. I know you may feel like your weight isn't going down. I know you may feel like you're bloated. You may feel like your pictures look worse. You may feel like you're not yourself, and you may struggle with this mentally and emotionally, but this place of higher calories is going to get you from low energy availability to having enough calories in your body to support your physical activity, to support the physiological functions that your body needs to undergo to recover from the physical activity that you're doing. And those are the hard conversations that I've had with so many clients. I'll be honest, I've had more with female clients than male. And I think that ties back into the study that we read out earlier that kind of hinted to the fact that females can be more subject to this. But low calories forever is not the answer to getting lean. If you're already not getting lean and you're on low calories, it means that there's a problem that we need to address, as opposed to, I'm not losing weight on 1,200 calories. I'm going to go to 1,000. Because then when you stop losing weight on 1,000, you go, I'm going to go to 800. That is such a low amount of calories to have for one day. I don't want you to be there. And that's why I encourage you to continue to ask yourself, should I keep dropping your calories, or should I increase them, or should I get a coach to help me get out of this because I just keep digging a deeper hole that I can't get out of? We also need to understand what maintenance calories are. I literally had an email yesterday and today around a client who was like, hey, like I'm getting close to the body fat that I'm at, but I don't want to, like, do I have to go to maintenance or to calorie surplus if I want to build muscle? Why can't I just increase my protein and go from there? Number one, that's not how it works, unfortunately. But number two, maintenance is maintenance. It's what the word suggests. We maintain. We don't increase weight. Like if you are going from a calorie deficit to your maintenance calories and you gain weight, I'm sorry, but you've gone too far with your calories. And that's often what people do. They increase the amount of calories that they have by too much, and they go out of their calorie deficit straight to a surplus, and then they start gaining weight, and then they put on weight and they go, oh, I don't like this maintenance deal. I'm going to go back to a calorie deficit because I need to get lean again because I just put on body fat from going to maintenance. But what they actually did was they went to a calorie surplus and they consumed too much. So what I want you to understand is maintenance calories is maintenance. And if you're gaining weight, you're not on your maintenance calories. You're on a calorie surplus. So keep that in mind. That can definitely help you in times of, man, this chair is really squeaky. Not a good podcast chair. Anyway, moving forward. Check it out. Can you hear that? Anyway, understand that maintenance is maintenance. And if you are gaining weight, you're eating too much. Increase your knowledge. That's how you prevent undereating also. Like I touched on earlier in the podcast, increase your knowledge. Undereating, a calorie deficit should only be for a certain time frame for you to get lean. Once you've achieved that body fat, you need to get out. You need to at minimum, get to maintenance and just sit there. Just sit there. Enjoy that extra 200, 300, 400, 500 calories that you have deserved. You've been on this calorie deficit for a while. Just, mate, enjoy that extra sandwich that you can have, that extra bowl of muesli and granola and milk. Enjoy it. Just make the most of it. But increase your knowledge. The more you learn, the more you can begin to navigate this fat loss, muscle building, body transformation area, right? I study it every day. So I'm going to be light years ahead of where you're at potentially if you're not a coach already, or if you're not into the space of fitness. And it does take a while, but once you start understanding principles of the calorie deficit, of the calorie surplus, of what true maintenance is, of what your maintenance calories are made up of, your TDEE, your B, it's your BMR, it's your NEAT levels, your EAT levels, your thermic effect of food, all these things. Once you start to understand it, it begins to make more sense, and then you can actually make better changes to your life to get the results that you want. So increasing your knowledge can definitely help you prevent that.